it's in my clothing. So, like, you know,
Yeah, let's...
you've got to get really close and personal with people. You have to...
Your hands are in their pants.
You're in their clothing.
You're in their bras,
And,
their shirts.
Oh, yeah. And when you're doing sound, a lot of the times it's, hi, I'm Ellie, I'm going to put my hand up your shirt.
Yeah. What exactly does a sound mixer do?
The sound mixer's job, plain and simple, is to get the best raw audio you can get. First thing I do is usually unpack everything I need, just lay everything out.
About how much equipment are we talking?
Generally, it's usually you have your mixer, your boom, and at least 2 lavs, and then you have probably a camera hop, which is like an audio feed of what I'm mixing that goes into camera. And then I'll have another audio hop, like other audio hops that we refer to as context for your directors, your producers, sometimes your script supervisor. So there's usually about 4 contexts. Let's say you have 2 cameras and you have 2 audio hops, and then you have 2 lavs plus the mixer plus the boom, and then spare cables galore.
Unlike a lot of people on film, their focus is what is in front of the camera. So many departments, it is whether it's lighting or the actors, the art department or the director, everything is focused on usually a very small space. Whereas with you guys are up against, if there's thunder, if there's lightning, if there's an ambulance, if there's a bee,
there's wind.
Yeah, it's all the things that surround the
material of their shirt just rubs against their skin a weird way. Like, there's so many little things that go into sound that it's one of the jobs that you have to be very quick on your feet. And it's also one of those that if something goes wrong, you can hide it really well because no one knows. When you're doing sound, there's a lot that you're paying attention to other than the sound, especially on scripted stuff, because you have to be aware of what the actors are moving. A lot of times now, sound is one person. It's one person doing one department. In bigger stuff, there's usually, you have your sound mixer, who is at the mixer, and then you have your boom operator, and then you have the person who mics people is like your sound utility. So 90% of the time, I'm doing 3 people's jobs.
You said that a lot of times it's underestimated how much you know.
Most of the sound mixers that I know are at least 10 years older than I am.
Yeah.
And so being, I think it was one of our actors where I was asking, they were like, oh, do you just boom op? And I was like, no, actually, I'm a sound mixer. And so, yeah, I do get underestimated. I was talking to a director recently, and he's a good friend of mine now, and it was like halfway through the shoot, and we were talking about, because he knows my boss, and my boss had like texted him, and he was like, yes, the beautiful Ellie's gonna be there, and like the director was like, that's great, but like, can she do the job? Like, that's I don't really care if she's beautiful, but great, cool. Which cracked me up, because it's like, yeah, that wouldn't be like the first thing that I'd want to be described as. Yeah. And like, I mean, I appreciate it. It's a great compliment.
Yeah, but when you're going to do a job,
yeah,
I
exactly.
understand
And plus,
what
like,
you
I'm only 5'4", so when I show up to do my job, people are like, wait, you're gonna be wearing 40 pounds plus having 20-foot
you wear
pole?
How many pounds of equipment every day?
Yeah.
You said you didn't even know that this was a job growing up. Do you kind of see, after being on set for all these years, maybe why there aren't more women doing this type of job?
Well, to be a sound mixer, you kind of have to have a certain set of strength.
Okay.
Like, I was a swimmer in high school, so I already had a lot of upper body and shoulder strength.
Okay.
Which is very important when you're holding a pole above your head for 12 hours at a time. I mean...
Because you can't, once you're on a professional set, you can't drop that thing.
No. And if you do, you have to make it look like you didn't drop it, because I've done that before. It is scary. But the funny thing about women in the film industry is that we've always been very prominent. When film was getting mechanized and becoming more of a machinery type of thing, women got switched to editors because it was more of like a sewing machine. And so it was more of a domestic job. And which is funny because like 20 years later, it became a man's job because it was technical. And I think we're in an age where it's becoming more of a broad spectrum.
So much of what you describe about this job, I think so many female characteristics, the idea of we're really taught from such a young age how to make people feel comfortable, which a lot of times is looked down as a bad thing. Oh, you know, women, we're so accommodating. It's like, well, with a job like this, and you're going to be physically close to people, you have to be hospitable and you have to be accommodating. And you have, as a sound person, a lot of very physical, close contact to other people that you've just met. Your hands are in their pants.
You're in their clothing.
You're in their bras,
And-
their shirts.
Oh, yeah.
You're everywhere.
And-
then you're always having to adjust it, too. So
Exactly.
it's not like you just put it in. It's for the
Yeah, and
next
then it
12
goes.
hours
No,
or
no, no.
whatever. You're going to have your hands
you're
on
going
other
in
people.
there. So there's a lot of like making someone comfortable the second you meet them. It's all about the vibe.
Yeah.
And you have to feel that vibe from the person. Like, how uncomfortable are they? How ready are they to be touched by you? Do they want to be touched by you? Are you going to, like, you have to understand how to read people.
Thank you so much, Ellie, for being here. It means so much to me. Thank you, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and tune in to our next episode. Thank you.